Hi, StarSurfer here with the monthly reading for June 2023 for my Sagittarius. Sagittarius Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node. Hi, Sagittarius. How are you? It is the summer solstice as I'm recording this, so yes, this is late, but you understand. You were probably busy too. But I figured who better to do a reading for today than a fire sign on the day when the sun has the most presence here, at least in the northern hemisphere. I got my red on, I got my red candle burning, I'm feeling fired up, I'm feeling ready to go. How are you feeling, Sagittarius? How are you feeling? I want to do a quick, semi-quick walkthrough of the astrology for you as I tuned into your chart, some of the things I found. I'd like to start here with the fact that yes, it is the solstice, which means the sun has moved into Cancer. If you are a Sagittarius rising, and Sagittarius is your first house, you're probably super fun. But this movement of the sun from Gemini into Cancer means it is moving from your 7th house, your house of partnerships, close one-on-one relationships, romance, business partners, best friends, any one-on-one relationship. It's moving from that house into the 8th house. I feel like this might have played out for you. There was just a new moon in Gemini. The new moons have been falling at the end of seasons, just with the way orbits are lining up. But the new moon was just this past weekend, and that might have felt like a fresh new start in terms of these relationships I just mentioned, which feels very yay to me. But the universe always gives with one hand and takes with the other, right? It's a both and. So yes, we had this nice new fresh start, this new surge of energy in terms of relationships, and then almost immediately after that, today the sun moves into Cancer, which, if you are a Sagittarius rising, is your 8th house. Which feels like, yes, we had this new start in relationships, this new energy, reinvigorating relationships, and then almost immediately after it, it's like something about the shadow, the 8th house, came up that you had to deal with. Maybe you got into a new relationship and it brought up like all of those insecurities and fears you've been holding on to that you need to acknowledge and work with and release in order to like be a better, more available, more present, more loving partner for whoever this is and whatever capacity this start began. Even if it was only like a mental redo, right, of like how you're thinking about relationships. Yes, you turned a new leaf, like began a new chapter in terms of relationships, but that means, here to me, I see that means I have to deal with all the stuff, all the baggage I kind of packed away and hid in the basement. Now I have to deal with it if I want to enter into a relationship successfully and in this new way. So yeah, the new moon probably felt very yay, but that movement now into Cancer season feels a little ouch. But know that there is a purpose, like it is all serving the growth within you, right? The purging process needed to enter into these relationships that are calling to you more authentically, without all of this baggage. So that's where we are in terms of like sun, like where we are in the zodiac wheel. Every sign has a planet that rules that sign, right? Sagittarius is ruled by the planet Jupiter, which is lovely, which is why you're so fun and expansive and willing to kind of like go big and not go home. Because Jupiter is the planetary archetype, it's associated with like expansion, fortune. You're probably pretty lucky. If you are a Sagittarius rising, the planetary ruler for your chart ruler would be Jupiter. So it's a very important planet to you, no matter what placement you have in Sagittarius. Right now, it is in Taurus. It entered Taurus in March. It will be in Taurus until 2024, a whole year in this area of your chart. For you, if you are a Sagittarius rising, that is your 6th house. What does that mean? The sixth house, every house is associated with a different area or aspect of our life or ourselves. The sixth house is the house associated with work routines and health, service. And Jupiter is here to say you need options. You need room to play. You might have been accepting a bit too much limitation. You might have been following a bit too much of like a steady or predictable path. And Jupiter's like, no, go big. Go big. Like, go big. You cannot, just in general as a Sagittarius, like you need movement. You need, like, if a normal person is like, I want to travel, like, let me go to like a short weekend trip to the town over. A Sagittarius is like, I want to travel, let me fly across the world for a month, right? Let me travel the world for 80 days. Like Sagittarius is like, let me take the idea and let me blow it up and make it like 50-point font, right? So that's what's happening for you in terms of like the way you work, right? If you choose to accept the call to expand in this area of your life, I'm telling you, it will only have like a beneficial effect on your health. If you give yourself more options and more room to play in terms of your like daily work routine, it will benefit your health. You'll feel more energized, more excited, more enlivened, health-wise. Related to that, Venus, which is the planetary archetype associated with love, connection, values, finances, and Mars, which is the planet associated with drive, action, conflict, but also like a go-getter. Venus is maybe the divine feminine, is a useful way to think about it, and Mars is the divine masculine. Both of these planets are in Leo right now. The planet, the like sign of the performer, of the self, of the ego, of the like, give me an audience and watch me shine, baby. For you, if you are a Sagittarius rising, that means that this is all happening in your 9th house, right? All of this Venus, Mars, Leo action. That, coupled with the fact that Jupiter is in your house of like work routines, saying expand, give yourself more options, give yourself room to play, with Venus and Mars and Leo, your 9th house, what that means for me is that it is time for you to choose the paths that spark your fire. No more staying small, no more staying same, no more staying like stuck. Whatever sparks you, lights you up, really feels like invigorating, get up and go energy, it will be unique to you. Because it's all this Leo energy. It will be specific and unique to you. There might not be a path or a specific trail, an example of someone who's doing what you feel called to do in this moment. But you must do it. You must blaze your own trail. You must, follow the trail that sparks the blaze. And it is unique to you. Okay? I feel like you might be feeling passionate maybe for the first time in a long time because you had some challenging aspects before this month. You still have some challenging aspects, and I'm about to talk about that. Saturn, the planet of boundaries, restrictions and limitations, diligence, dedication, delineation, is in Pisces. If you are a Sagittarius rising, that means Saturn is in your 4th house, which kind of sucks. The 4th house is the base of the chart. It is the house associated with home and family and childhood. Saturn here has probably meant your home life has been challenging. You might be dealing with some things popping up, especially since Saturn's moved retrograde and is like appears to be moving backwards in the sky. You might be dealing with things popping up that you haven't dealt with since your childhood, right? Pains, old wounding, that stems from like what happened when you were like in the home of your parents as a child, or whoever your caretakers were as a child. This Saturn presence in the 4th house might feel like it's the only thing challenging, like, and holding you back from all of this Jupiter, Venus, Leo energy of like, go for it, expand, give yourself room to play, blaze your trail. And then Saturn's like, but home is the limitation. How do you deal with that? Because there might be a problem But the problem is always also providing the medicine, the solution. Get more organized. I know you hate to hear that, Sagittarius, and I hate to say it, but you must get more organized. Saturn demands diligence, dedication, organization. And Pluto, the planet of like intensity and power and unearthing and catharsis and change, rebirth, is in your second house of finances, of the money that you make. Saturn's in the house of your home and family, your childhood issues. Pluto is in the planet of the money you make. How do you deal with this? Because it's intense. You get organized. You dot your T's and you cross your I's. I know you don't want to do it, but a little bit of effort up front will pay off like exponentially down the road. If you put in the work, if you make yourself sit down, if you make yourself literally a schedule, a to-do list, a to tackle now list, and knock that shit out a little bit by little bit, like just get it done, cross it off. One, you'll unleash a bunch of energy that might have been expended in avoidance of those things, of dealing with all of that, because we can never really ignore something. Ignoring something requires such an energy expenditure so that we always know where the thing we are ignoring is. Pluto is saying, deal with your finances, right? Sit down and make sure that the money you're making is making sense. Saturn is saying, deal with that childhood shit you're still carrying. Get organized around like cleaning your home, organizing your home. Don't look behind me. I need to do this too. But get organized, make lists, make schedules, commit to like a little bit of upfront effort, and it again will reward you in dividends. If you free yourself up from all of this through organization, right? Dedication, paperwork, routine and structure, nailing all of that down right now, like as Jupiter continues to stay in your house of like daily work for the next year, and as Venus and Leo are here this summer, it's like you will be able to then pursue whatever you want. You can go after those things and you'll be energized. Again, your health will be taken care of, but get organized. I know you hate to hear it, but do it now. You will not regret it. Jupiter, as I said, is your planetary ruler, right? It is your chart ruler if you're a Sagittarius rising, which means it is the most impactful and important planet in the sky for you specifically. It has been connecting in and out with the nodes of the moon. There will be a whole separate video about what that means. They are not actual planets. They are points in the orbit of the moon and the earth around the sun. They're opposite each other. There is a north node. There is a south node. The north node is the place a point of expansion, of voracious and insatiable hunger. Like, what are you desperate and desirous of? What could you pursue endlessly and never feel like you've gotten enough of? And then the south node, it's like, what are you purging and releasing? Where is the drain being, like the plug being pulled out of the drain? What's falling out? But Jupiter, your chart ruler, your planetary ruler, has been aligned with the north node, this place of expansion, of voracious hunger, for like the last month. What does this mean? Destiny is calling you. Fate is calling you. Answer the call, right? If you take nothing else, I would like you to take, from everything I've just shared about your astrology, I would like you to take two things. The first thing I'll say quickly because it's annoying, but it's true. Get organized. Get organized. Get organized. The second thing is much more fun and much more important. Think of this period of your life, certainly for like the next year. Think of it as a quest. You love that shit. You love fantasy. You love adventure. You love audacious undertakings. Think of this next year of your life as a quest. What are you setting out to vanquish? What are you setting out to conquer? What are you setting out to claim, to explore, to understand, to see? What beauty do you want to behold within yourself and within your world? What path is calling to you? Answer it. It's calling to you for a reason. Okay? Where is this quest taking you? You're questing. All right? Okay. That's your astrology for this month. Go ahead and take a breath. Let's pull some cards. I have the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit Oracle deck. Get some animal medicine here for you. Again, this is for my, hold up. Almost forgot the timestamp. We're going to say that. Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node, Jupiter. So that's a lot of people. Take whatever resonates and leave the rest. What fits into the quest? What fits into the philosophy? What fits into the present or is shaping up to fit into the future? Sag, how do you feel? How would I describe this feeling? I don't love it. I don't love it. I don't hate it. You feel frustrated. You feel a little frustrated. And part of that, I feel like, is because you feel like you shouldn't feel frustrated. You feel like you should feel differently. Maybe because things are going well in your life, or like things are starting to align in a nice way, but like you feel a little frustrated. And you feel doubly frustrated because you're frustrated. You're frustrated with yourself. All right. Any messages for my Sagittarius? Yeah. Scorpion, Sting. There's been an incident, I want to say. I want to say there's tension. Whether it has actually boiled over into conflict between you and another person, or you and a group of people, or you and an environment, like if it's your home or like a family or a workplace, but there's tension. And Scorpion, is this you or is this them? I feel like it's them. Like you kind of have to be on eggshells around this person or in this place, because like they could like pop off at any moment. And there's a lot that you're great at, Sag, but having to like quiet yourself or maneuver around someone else, especially someone else that's like, you feel like, why are they so angry? Like, why am I having to be so careful with this person? You don't like that. You would rather just be able to show up, say the truth, and take it or leave it. But this feels like even you realize that like that's not the move. That does not feel safe right now to be able to do that, to operate in the way you would like to operate. And maybe that's why you're so frustrated, because you feel stifled, or you feel like even if no one's saying it, it's like the boss is kind of so you kind of don't, like, it's an unspoken rule in the office that we just kind of don't piss him off. And you're like, but he's an idiot. But I need my job, or whatever the situation is. It feels kind of like that dynamic, and it's bringing up that feeling in me of like someone is not acting right, but you are in such a position relative to them that you kind of have to just maneuver around it. This person feels like a difficult person. Any other messages or insights? Yeah, I don't love that for you. The wolf, pack energy. This could be a friend. This could be someone in your friend group. But more so I'm feeling like this is not a friend. And you kind of are being called to lean on your friends to process whatever this frustration is. It's like, again, I just keep getting called to like work. This feels like it is a workplace situation of like, I hate my coworker or my boss or whatever, but I know like they're important, they hold influence. And so I maneuver around them because I don't want the sting of the scorpion. And then I have my people that I can come and rely on to strengthen me when I feel weak or frustrated in these moments. If this is a friend that is frustrating, be careful. Be careful about who you go to rely on that. But this, again, if it is a friend, it feels like the rest of your friends like get it too. You're all kind of in the same boat about this one person. If it is a friend, you're all like, oh yeah, like Todd's super whoa. I can't believe Todd is whoa like that. But you can't, I don't know. Y'all are letting it slide and letting it ride for some reason. If it is a friend. Even if it's not a friend, you're letting it slide for some reason. Can I get another card for my Sagittarius? Oh, you can get a bunch. Yeah, it's definitely about work. My God. Horse and beaver. These are like the two cards of work. Like, busy like a beaver. This can be like really anxious, just getting tasks done, knocking stuff off left and right, like do. And this horse is like the master of earth, which earth is the element associated with work. Like nothing, working like a horse. You are definitely, this is a workplace situation. For those of you who this reading is for. You love the work, or you're very good at the work, which is why it seems like you're tolerating this presence, this energy. You also, if it is like a boss or one specific coworker, it seems like you do have other people around you in the office or in the place of work that are supportive, and they do get this. They get it, and they, but you enjoy the work, which I feel like, I was kind of like, why are you tolerating this? But you enjoy the work, and you're really good at it, right? On top of both of these work energies, the cosmic egg. This is crown chakra. This card is associated with the crown chakra, the top chakra, the chakra of like cosmic connection. So I also feel like you're able to look at any situation philosophically, and you're kind of like, well, what is the reason? What is the meaning? And I feel like your fire might be kind of like sparked by this person in a way that is uncomfortable, but you are able to like hold it together with the support of other people, and because you love your job and you're so good at it. And also, most importantly, I feel like you're able to do it because you are approaching it with a spiritual perspective. You're like, you know what? I don't love the way I have to navigate around this energy, but I got my people. I'm great at my job and I like what I do. And there is a spiritual understanding. And I feel like specifically you have an empathy or a sympathy for this person or this energy if it's multiple people. You're like, you know what? I don't love it. I really don't love it. But I understand. Maybe this person is like super unhappy in their life, and they might not say that, but it's so obvious from the way they act. They're just miserable. And you see that because you're not. They might be making you like a little miserable, but like you just generally are like not as unhappy as this person is. You would not lash out in this way. You would not force people to kind of like bend or kowtow to like your crazy needs and specific, I don't know, weirdness, your control issues. This feels like you have a spiritual lens on this process, on this situation, which is keeping you sane. Because this could drive you crazy. That's why I'm like, I feel it like it's so frustrating. You also might just be like burying yourself in work to not have to deal with it. If it's a partner, this is coming through now. I feel like there's like three separate. If it's a friend group, your friends all kind of get it. If it's a workplace situation, I've kind of been touching on that. But if this is like a romantic partner, you still, again, I feel like are going to your friends to rely on it, but you also might just be burying yourself in work to not have to deal with it. That feels like the least likely option. Again, because you feel like you can connect things to like a spiritual perspective on everything. And like someone who has this understanding does not need to avoid things through work. If you are avoiding things through work, it's time to get in touch with a spiritual perspective. It's time to like let our friends like help us find it if we need it. But it seems like you've got it. It seems like you're finding it. overall, the Lamb. Lamb, look at how colorful that is. Look at how beautiful that is. Again, I feel this is like, for me, this is like brand new, baby, with a wham energy. It feels to me connected to this spiritual perspective. I feel like in the past, if you had encountered this kind of energy, you would have blown up. You would have fought back, you would have stung back. Or you would have just like skedaddled and been out of there in like 0 to 60, like 3.5 just gone. Like, bye. Like, clearly I'm talented enough that I could be working anywhere. I could be doing this anywhere. You are capable here. You could be in demand if you put yourself on the job market, or the relationship market, or the friend market. But something tells me you're choosing to stay because you have a new ability to process things cosmically, spiritually. You have that like grander picture. If you're not finding this, if this is only frustrating and you don't have the support to deal with that frustration, it will blow up. This is like, we are sitting on a powder keg if we don't have these two perspectives, the spiritual and the brand new, right? So get out, is what I'm trying to say. I'm warning you, get out if you don't have a way to look at it spiritually and it's only annoying. Use that to push you to move into the options that this kind of person clearly has. This kind of person would be appreciated anywhere they go. Yeah. I mean, I'm like, again, this reading is not for everyone. You will know if this reading is for you. But if this reading is for you, I'm like 90% certain this is going to be about a work situation. If it's something that's just not changing and you can't find the new perspective to look at it spiritually, this is a sign to get on out, because this kind of person is not changing. They're just getting more and more miserable by the day, by the minute, by the second. So get out. Even if you do have that spiritual perspective, and you can sit with the frustration because you know the work you're doing is important and meaningful, like, it might be time to start thinking long game of like how you get away, how you get out. Because like I said, that Scorpion energy, are they Scorpio? Might not be, it's not going to change. So if you can tolerate it now, tolerate it. If you can't, get out, because you could find this anywhere. You could, be wanted anywhere. But if you can tolerate it, even if you can tolerate it, start to think long game of like how you're going to get away in the future. I mean, if this person's on their way out the door, like, let them just ride it out, let them get out. But if they're not, and they're going to be a fixed presence for a long time, start to think long game of where else you can go. Because you can go anywhere. Horse and beaver, oh yeah, that kind of worker, that kind of talent, that kind of dedication and commitment is anywhere you want to go. World is your oyster, right? So start to think long game about like, okay, where am I going to go? I can do this for now, but I can't do this forever. All right, let's pull some tarot cards. Let me get one more shuffle. Nope, maybe not. No, I do want one more. All right. Any other messages for my Sagittarius? Oh, yeah, something came up. Queen of Cups in reverse. Queen of Cups upright is an emotionally attuned, intuitive, psychic, like emotionally rich, nurturing presence. She might be a little bit like ethereal, like hard to pin down, not so great with the practicalities, but when you need someone to be emotionally there for you, by God, is she ever. In reverse, this tells me like something or someone is not listening to their emotions. It's not you. It's not you, it's them. It's them. I mean, this kind of person is like so emotionally unaware, like psychic warfare kind of stuff. Like, they might be emotionally aware but manipulative. They're using it for evil instead of good, for dark instead of light. But like, again, this is just further iteration for me of like, this person is not going to get it together. And if you're going to this kind of person for like emotional support, ooh, stop now. Stop. But don't expect them to change or provide something that they are incapable of providing. Any other messages for my Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Jupiter, North Node? Any other messages for my Sag, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Jupiter, and North Node? Yeah, I knew. Okay. Hermit in reverse. The Hermit upright is relying on your own compass, taking time away from the noise, away from outside influence to get in touch with like, what is your guiding star? Like, what is important to you? Who are you? What do you want? In reverse, it tells me like, we're not in touch with that. Again, I feel like we're starting to be, but if you think you can stay in an environment with this person, even if it's pissing you off, or like long term, no one should stay in this environment long term. Let me say that. Everyone should be planning to leave this kind of environment if what I've been describing applies. But if you think you can stay it forever, or that person is going to change, you are not, or you're trying to do what they want instead of like using your talents and abilities to like carve the path that you need, that is specific to you, it's time for a change. It's time to get more spiritual. It's time to get enlightened. This is like, you can receive downloads if you're here. The Hermit, oh man, downloads all the time, because he's not muddied. His mind and his thinking, his priorities are not muddied by outside influence. In reverse, they absolutely are. So, get clear, get quiet, cut out the noise, the outside influence, right? You might need to be the lone wolf for a minute. You might need to be the lone wolf for a minute. You might need to step away from the pack to get back in touch with this upright, right? Your own compass, your own guiding star. You might need a brand new fresh start in something. And it won't be for this person or with this kind of energy. Can I get one more? One more card for my Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Jupiter, and North Node as it pertains to this spread. Yeah. You, again, okay. It's time, Hierophant. Hierophant is like a leader, I mean, he's the Pope, you know, he's the High Priest. But he is either a specific individual or a code, right? A program that is heavily influential that people follow. But I feel like for you right now, this is saying like you need to be careful about who and what you are aligning with, right? Is it authentic? Is it yours? Or is it out of touch with like what you need to be doing? Because the call here is obvious. Do what you need to do, right? Get in touch with what your heart is calling out for. Whatever destiny seems to be beckoning. This is a very destined card. Make a fresh start. Start to put in place, if you can't do it immediately, and it would be very hard to do immediately, the kind of work that this is asking. But if you can't do it immediately, start to put in place the things that will help you to do it sooner rather than later. Again, even if you are able to navigate this energy, and again, it feels like work. Of course it does. Even if you're able to navigate this energy, like, okay, it is not a long-term viable solution or possibility. It's time to start something new. Get in touch with yourself. Listen to whatever your spirit is calling for. You might need to lone wolf it for a bit, but like if you follow your heart, your spark, follow that quest, like you will become a leader for others. You might have to walk it alone for a little bit, but like you can become a leader in a way that like this kind of person never could be. They might have like external or superficial success, but this kind of person can have massive and meaningful success. And it starts with you getting clear about like, what do you want? Follow it. Listen to the soul calling, right? What is sparking? Overall, you have the Page of Wands. Pages are messengers. Wands is fire. My fire signs. Like, what is asking to be sparked? What new path is calling out to you, for you, right? Listen, get clearer, step away. Don't be influenced by other people, especially not these kinds of people, right? Right, yeah. You can start to get clear that right under the Page of Wands was, we got to keep going, because right under the Page of Wands was the 8 of Swords in reverse. 8 of Swords upright is like, I feel trapped. I don't know which move to make. My thinking is like keeping me in a self-made prison. In reverse, it's telling me we are getting clear, right? We are dropping that self-made prison, right? We are re-sparking the fire, getting clearer. There was underneath the 10 of Swords was death in reverse. Death upright is like letting something end that has run its natural course and is no longer suited in your path and on your life. Reverse says we've been resisting it. There is a frustration, like I said at the beginning of this, and you know you've got to bust out of it. You know there is something calling to you if you listen, but there are times you're not listening. And so you don't see the way out. You are resisting letting go of what isn't serving anymore. But underneath death was the Queen of Wands. This is very powerful, right? She is the master of her element. This is what awaits you. And this Sagittarius card, 8 of Wands, movement, acceleration. This is what awaits you if you can let go. And if I could pick up, this is what awaits you if you can let go of this, right? You stand to gain your power, your drive, movement, quest, authority, right? Real, true power, right? If you can let go of the small place you've kept yourself in, it wants to die. It wants to be shed. It wants to be let go of. Life is Spirit is calling you to bust out of this, clearly. Because look what you stand to gain. Look what you stand to gain. It's time, it's time, it's time. Again, this is the frustration. It's not going to change. You need to get clear about yourself. Stop resisting the knowing and the ending. Stop resisting the knowing and the ending and start to begin again anew with all of this beautiful fire relit. Don't hide, Mr. Page. With all of this beautiful fire relit, acceleration and movement, and ultimate authority awaiting you. Okay? Let's get you a parting message. Can I get one final message for my Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Jupiter, and North Node? Little card for them to go out with on their quests. Can I get one card? Yeah. What wanted to come out so badly? Sacred Earth Mother. A message of love. 42 breaking down to a 6. Journeys. 6 is the number attached to like journeys, movement. 42. I'm going to read that for you guys. Sacred Earth Mother, we travel the endless corridors of our mind until one day we find a pathway that leads to our hearts. This is the kind of person that travels the endless corridors of their mind. Who you truly are has nothing to do with your personality or your achievements, successes, or failures. The you think you are is an actor playing a role that your soul has chosen. The essence of you is soul, light with no beginning or end. You are an eternal spark of pure creativity, unlimited potential that yearns to be expressed and fulfilled. Your potential is your destiny. It awaits your call. Trust your heart and apply its love and wisdom to all you do. In this way, all you create or do will be a true expression of your soul. It is through expressing your truth that you create things of lasting value. Be true to you. How did I start this reading? You are frustrated. I'm picking up on a frustration because part of you has had to deny yourself to navigate around something, right? But it is keeping us stuck. It is keeping us from letting something go. It is keeping us from acknowledging our personal and unique truth, our personal and unique path, right? Owning and stepping into our power, our influence, our leadership, and moving forward. But it is time to get spiritual and start new, right? Move away and move in. Accelerate. Begin the quest now. Go. Thank you, my Sagittarius. I will talk to you soon. Bye.